Hello, everybody. This is Noah Rosenblatt. I am from UrbanDigs, and it is Friday. So you are going to get your Week 12 Coronavirus Manhattan Market Update. This is a weekly look at real-time listing trends with the goal of tracking the COVID crisis on the Manhattan markets, seeing the destruction, seeing the normalization, and hopefully ultimately seeing the recovery. So is the recovery starting? Let's take a look. Getting right to the numbers right now, we got supply. We came in at 5162. When I did this last week, it was at 5,085, so we are ticking up. You're looking at a chart right now. When I first started doing this was at 6582. This should be much, much, much higher. This should be in the mid sevens. Instead, COVID came around. Sellers decided not to list property, and this has been steadily declining since. We hit a low of 5,040 on week 9, and we've been increasing since. So that is a good sign in the fact that sellers are listing property. Hopefully they understand what type of market they're listing into, but that's the kind of signal you want to see. You want supply to come back. All right, let's move on to pending sales. Pending sales came in at 2,011. This is our measure of demand. When I did this last week, it was at 2,091. That means it is falling. That is not a good sign. When I first started doing this, it was at 2,650. It has been a steady downward decline since then, and I expect a steady downward decline going forward. Pending sales is a 6-month window of what's in contract. So if you think about the fact that every day those new deals being signed are funneling into this measure, we have not had a lot of upward pressure going into this thing for a while now, okay? And now when I look at weekly volume, we're at a low point last week. So let's see where we come in this week, but it's not high. So I expect pending sales to be negatively impacted for at least another 4 to 6 weeks. Even after you see a tick up in contract activity, you will still see pending sales have some negative pipeline pressure into it. So how low does this go? We'll have to keep reporting on it. All right. It is the end of the month. All right. So I want to take a quick look at how we're doing. To do that, I want to have a relative understanding of what's normal for May. What is normal for May, all right, before the new numbers come in? So I'm going down to my monthly new supply and my monthly contract activity to make a mental note of what's normal. I'm clicking monthly new supply, okay? I'm going to 3-year option. I like to clean up the chart. I hover over May, and I could see right over here, we had 2017, we had 1940, we had 1631. You add those up, you divide by 3, it's going to come in somewhere in the 1800s, okay? So let's call it 1850. That's typically what we're supposed to see in terms of new supply coming to market in the month of May. Mental note on that. Let's now go to monthly contract activity and do the exact same exercise. I'm going to generate the chart. I'm going to click on the 3-year option. I hover over it for May. I can see 1,092, 1,086, and 982. Let's add those all together. Let's divide by 3, and you're going to get somewhere around 1,040, 1,050. We're going to call it 1,050. So what's typical is we usually see 1,850 listings coming on the market, and we usually see 1,050 listings going into contract. That's what's typical. So what did we come in at? We're going to get to that in a second. First, let's look at my weekly trends. Where are my weekly trends? Okay, 1 week active. 1 week active came in at 161. You're looking at a weekly chart right now. When I did this last week, it was at 155. When I first started doing it, it was at 138, and it started its decline. We hit a low of 70 in week 5. We were in the 70s for a few weeks to define the bottom of listing new listing inventory, and we've since been ticking up, and this is the highest number since we first started doing it. Since COVID started, this is the highest number. So that is a good sign. This is not a price action sign. This is a inventory sign of listings coming back on the market, and we're typically supposed to see around 500. Usually we have around 1,900 listings come on the market. So that's like 475, 480, just under 500. We're at 160, so we got a ways to go. Okay, 1 week contract signed. This is the all important number. Where do we come in? 31. That's low. 31 is low. That is the lowest number since I've started doing this. You're looking at a chart right now. This is not going to be the best number to report on. I was at 46 last week. Previous low was week 9 at 36. When I first started doing this, I was at 136. So that is not a good number. That is a sluggish, anemic number. I guess we're at the part of the process right now before we start showings where it's pure sight unseen deals. If people are seeing property and sneaking in, I don't know. It's not showing in numbers here. So that number needs to go up. That's for sure. Bad number right there. Off market. Where do we come in off market? 83. that is actually a decent number. That is the lowest number that I've seen since I first started doing this. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see sellers going off market. You want to see sellers going into contract. So that's why I want to see that number low. When I first started doing this, it was at 424. It's since declined down to the low hundreds. We bounced back up week 7, week 8, week 9, and then we came back down. So the fact that this is at 83 is a good sign. There's probably some exhaustion out there in terms of sellers that want to remove property off the market. So pretty much what you see out there is the sellers that want to sell right now, and that's what you want to see. Let's do quick month to date. And to do that, I'm going to go to historical status search. And I'm going to go May 1st. And I'm going to go to May 29th. That is defining month to date. And I'm going to go active. Remember, when I looked at the active chart, we usually get 1,850 listings. That's what's normal. Where are we heading? Where are we trending? Ooh, I can't even talk. Where are we trending? 532. So 1,850 is what we're supposed to see. 532 is where we're at now. We got another couple of days. Call it 550, 560. We're going to be down about 60% when this month's over. So let's go to contract signed. My last measure, contract signed. We typically see about 1,050 deals get signed, and we're coming in at 148. So this will be at 155, 160 by the time it's said and done. That's going to be down 80% plus. So that is not a good number. So I'm seeing active new listing inventory tick up. Decent sign. Not a lot, so it's okay sign. I'm seeing off markets go down. Decent sign. But the fact that contract activity is so low is a very disturbing sign. That's not good. So that's going to mute out anything that's going on right now. Any positivity that I'm having from active and off market going the right way is canceled out by that contract sign going so low. So that's where I'm at right now. Hopefully that contract activity number is going to mark the low and the benchmark of this down cycle, and it's all recovery from here. But we will track it, and we'll be the ones that are showing it, good or bad. We are Switzerland, and we're going to report on what we see regardless. This is Noah Rosenblatt from UrbanDigs. I wish everyone a safe and a happy weekend, and we'll catch you next Friday.